Welcome back, everybody. My name is Kleban with XACT Nutrition, and I'm gonna walk you through the Golden Rush Ultra Mountain Bike Race and how to fuel for this unique challenge. So unlike most races with a start and finish line, the Golden Rush is a lap race over a set duration. So whether you're doing the 8-hour race or the 12-hour race, the winner of this event is the one who can complete the most laps of the course in X amount of time. So again, instead of trying to go from point A to B the fastest, this is a real test of endurance. So I'm gonna break you through how to prepare for such a long event with your nutrition and what you can do optimally on race day to enjoy all 12 hours of riding. It's a death by 1,000 paper cuts, as I like to say. Your lap is 13.8 kilometers long, 500 meters of climbing every lap. So one lap alone isn't going to be a super challenging ride. It's a good ride, but it's really the duration of this event that's unique. 12 hours of riding consecutively. Just think about it. How many things have you done for 12 hours nonstop? Maybe sleep, that's about it. So to ride a mountain bike for that long is quite the task. You're gonna be thinking about how much food do I need to eat for a 12-hour mountain bike race? The training for such an event really is gonna start in the weeks in advance. If you're gonna think about if I'm having even 60 grams of carbohydrates per hour for 12 hours, the gross amount of carbohydrates going through your system is through the roof. It's probably more than you've ever eaten in one singular day. So what we want to do in the weeks leading up to an event like this is what we call train our gut. The idea with this is to really get your system used to eating that many carbohydrates in one go, so you don't have gastrointestinal distress on race day. You can tolerate the high amount of fueling required for the race a little bit better, utilize those carbohydrates that you're taking on board during the race. That's something that you can't do. You can't just jump in on race day. You need to practice that for a couple weeks beforehand. So my recommendation is, again, use our carbohydrate calculator, figure out how many carbs you can take on board right now without getting a stomach ache, and we're gonna work up from there until you get to your goal target per hour for the race day. And you wanna be eating foods that are going to sit well in your stomach. And this really takes a lot of experimentation. So I would be trying our fruit bars, I'd be trying our endurance bars, different types of fuel, maybe real food, and just see what's gonna sit well with you. So when you get to that race day, you're not trying anything new, you know what's gonna work well, because this is gonna have a huge impact on your race if you can actually take on that fuel effectively. So it's not just on the bike, it's really with the nutrition too. Have a plan, practice the plan, practice eating lots of carbohydrates. And I'd be starting that about a month out, just experimenting with the different things. Once you get to race day, it's going to depend a little bit if you're gonna tackle the ultra as a team or individual based on how to fuel. What I mean by that is, let's say you're in a team, okay, you're doing a relay. What I'd recommend is taking on your food while your partner's out on course. You're gonna be able to digest that food a lot better when you're sitting down, your body's relaxing, you can take on that food just while your partner's doing their lap of the course. You don't have to bring as much food during your lap. You can have some water, maybe an emergency snack, but you're gonna have your kind of pit of food at the start-finish area, and you can tap into that as your partner's going. However, if you're doing a solo event, it becomes a much, much bigger challenge. You gotta take on that food while you're moving throughout the 12 or 8-hour race. Packing foods in your pockets that you've tried beforehand, calculating how much you need per lap, and then every time you come under the lap, you can grab, okay, I need this much per lap. You're putting it in your pocket, and you're making sure once you finish the lap, you've eaten all of that food. You're just adhering to a strategy. Once you're 8 hours into a race and you got another 4 to go, you're not gonna be wanting to think about, oh, I need this many carbohydrates, I need this much. That should be pre-planned in advance, laid out somewhere. Maybe you have someone helping you with your feeds. They're just giving you the food, and your job is just to pedal the bike and eat the food. Have a plan, stick to it. A lot of single track on this course, so might be really challenging to take your hands off the bars and eat something. So it could be a good opportunity to take on more liquid nutrition, having it in your Camelback, maybe having it in your water bottle. A little easier to just sip it. And that way you're getting your kind of hydration and nutrition at the same time. But again, that's gonna just depend on what has worked for you in the past, what you've tried in training, what sits well with you. It's just a bit of a practical tip to limit how much time you're kind of fiddling in your pockets. It's a 12-hour race, so like I had maybe mentioned, you maybe have not ridden 12 hours before, like even in training, you wouldn't have done that much. I'd be really advocating for a bit of real food in there too. So yes, that liquid nutrition is really good. You can pack a lot of calories in there, but at a certain point, you need to have something in your stomach just to sit, keep you full, keep you happy, satiated. For that, I find that XACT Endurance Bar, it's really nice because it's got a little bit of that satiety, I guess, from the almonds. It sits really nice, but it's still easy to eat. It's 12 hours though. They might be having food at the start finish. You might have your support team making you like a proper meal. I wouldn't be opposed to doing that either, just as long as it's gonna sit well in your stomach. Again, just try things that you've done before in training. And so by the end, it may be getting increasingly more difficult to take on your carbohydrates. So again, if you're looking for those meals, I'd be really promoting to have them earlier in the race rather than later. You have that energy release going over the course of the 12 hours rather than this big bomb of calories right at the end. You want to be proactive with your fueling, not reactive. Probably the heartier, slower burning foods early in the race. You're shifting more towards liquid, faster burning fuel by the end, just whatever you can get in on the bike. Really for this race, if I had to wrap it up, you can't eat too much. The amount of caloric expenditure you're gonna have out doing a 12-hour race, you're never gonna be able to eat to that level. So just get as much as you can in there. That's my analysis of the course. So less technical course description for the Golden Rush, because it's not the course that kills you, it's the time. So we want to fuel with that huge volume of riding in mind, practicing beforehand, coming with a plan, placing all your food ready to go. So you don't have to think about it on race day. You're just gonna do your race. You're gonna pedal the bike, eat the food, enjoy the race, and celebrate a huge accomplishment to ride that long. So I hope that helps you fuel for the Golden Rush. I'm Kleban, and I approve this message.